Alright, Silver, Season 14, Split 2 patch 14.10, all the way up to, probably 14.18, 14.19, right? I've basically set the meta for Split 2 all the way up until essentially almost Worlds. And we need to see how we're going to be able to maximize jungle experience and gold so that you can carry to gold, and beyond. Now, in this video or movie, wherever you're seeing this particular piece of content, the most important thing I need to really drive home is I'm going to talk a lot about how farming isn't the thing you need to focus on, because it's true. Farming isn't the thing you need to focus on. And now you're saying, wait, but there's jungle experience. We must focus on farm. No, you need to focus on maximizing experience. And that's not entirely the same thing. There's a lot of crossover, but it's like, all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs kind of thing. The reason I say that is because if you look at the Kindred right now, imagine when this wolf camp respawns, right? In about 2 minutes 15. That camp will be level 4, all right? Most of the time, the second camp you do after the first buff that you do is going to be level 4. And unless you're really, really slow, the second camp will also be level 4 as well. So if you go Red Krugs Raptors, level 4, right? This will respawn then at level 5, and this will respawn at level 5. So if you take those camps as soon as possible, you're going to get a lot of experience. You're maximizing it. So why can't I just think about it that way when I'm ganking as well? Now the Kindred here in this particular clear is going red, wolves, blue, which will give level 3 thanks to a glitch from last season's buff. And now is going to go invading a Pantheon. First and foremost, it's not typically a champion I like to invade. I know in jungle he's a little weaker and so on, but this is a way better approach from the Pantheon. Let's see what happens here, obviously, as we observe the gank onto the Malphite. He's just not such a good gank. Then the Kindred shows up and we see 12 CS, blue, red buff. And now the Kindred, if they actually get a kill here with the E-proc, yeah, not quite. And Kindred dies. Pantheon gets a kill, and the Ignite goes through to the Vladimir. That won't kill him. Let's break it down. Why was this so heinous? Now, you absolutely must head to virkayu.gg. Not only do I have a free jungle improvement resource, I also have a dedicated program with jungle video courses, jungle coaching classes, a jungle VOD library, special weekly content you'll see nowhere else, as well as all of this hosted in a private jungle Discord. And if there is one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers go from low elo to high elo, as seen by the great number of success stories from the end of last season and already the beginning of season 14. So to climb faster than everybody you know and to jungle diff every game you play, head to virkayu.gg or click the link in the description below. Again, maximizing experience, right? So Pantheon's a ganking jungler. He's not an AFK farming jungler. We do the red side quadrant, and now we can look to say gank top lane. Probably not. Gank mid lane. All right, I suppose we could. Or maybe gank bottom lane. Ooh, Janna, Caitlyn, kind of a tough one. Now, the cool thing about what he does is he loops underneath, right? So now you're thinking, well, why is that great? It's great because when the gank goes off, when it inversely doesn't work because it's badly executed, guess what? Homie can fall back to these camps. He won't be counter jungled, he won't be invaded, he's got security, financial security. The Kindred, on the other hand, is going to go for this random ass invade, see absolutely nothing, realize, oh shit, everything's gone. Can I gank this top lane? No. Can I gank mid lane? Maybe. What if you can't though? Then you're going to fall back to your grump, and then what? Nothing. Nothing at all. And you're going to have 2 level 1 camps on the bottom side. And Scuttlecrab here you're probably going to sit around for. And then, maybe you go back to base and you're going to have to wait till like 425, 430 for this to respawn. And that's your only camp above level 1. That will be on the map. Gromp won't be on the map yet. So your experience is not maximized, even though the Kindred is looking for a 3 camp action, like the Pantheon is looking for a 3 camp action. So understand that just because there's a lot more experience in the jungle, yes, it benefits farming junglers, but it's not necessarily the meta. The meta is maximizing your experience. And the reason why farming junglers have so much more benefit is because this is a coin flip scenario. This is a coin flip play. This is just, hey, let's 2v2 and see what happens. And the problem with that is a farming jungler will dominate you. Now, if the Kindred went and made this play anyway, like say the Kindred actually gets a kill here, on the Vladimir, the Malphite gets a kill, they shoved a wave, and the Pantheon is a Hecarim, hypothetically. The guy would have finished his full clear. And so the Hecarim would just look at this and go, all right, Kindred got a kill. Cool, I full cleared, I'm level 4. Kindred goes down to this, I'm level 4, you're level 3. Low HP, I push you off, thank you. And the Hecarim can then just either gank this, go back to base, sequence again, and focus on getting level 6. And if the Kindred doesn't maximize their experience, which they haven't done here, they will lose out level 6 prior, and I guarantee you, you're going to see a level 6 Hecarim, a level 6 Karthus against you. And here again, look at this. Cutting across the map to go do a Scuttle Crab with the Mark instead of maximizing experience. This guy's just gone to his Wolves. He's going to do the blue. Again, not maximize. Do the Grump first so that they respawn together. Means a Wolf Camp will respawn. The Grump Camp will respawn. Kindred goes down to this one. This is a level 1 Grump, so experience is very, very low. And remember, on this patch, going forward for the next couple months, most likely for the rest of Season 14, right? This is the experience reality that we have. Now, Panther goes Omega deep onto the Jen and says, I guess I'll just flash and kill you. Uses his E to disengage that scenario. Zaya chases down. Soraka goes for the silence. There's another one. Chucking out the poke. Most Sorakas don't do that. They don't poke enough at all. The Kindred, in the meantime, now is doing a level 1 Raptor camp. Just did a level 1 Grump camp. And is going to have to do a level 1 Krug camp at 4 minutes 44. You know what 4 minutes 44 means to me in jungle at the moment and what it should mean to you? This should be when you're turning level 5. And the Kindred just hit level 4. That's a full level behind. And the Scuttle Crab here also got boosted experience. Now he snacks it up. He's almost level 5 here. And the reason why he isn't is because he's gone for those extra ganks. It's because he's gone and made impact on the map, right? He tried to do something here. He fell back to this quadrant. He got something here. He got something there. The only downside for the Pantheon's game style that I see at this particular stage is that he took too long to do these things, but I like where his head was at. I mean, it's silver. I mean, it's low elo. I mean, you're not going to be snappy challenger, but at least he had that impact. Now, if he was smoother, right? If he was a smooth operator and he's going back to here, you'd have a level 4 Krug camp here. You see, okay, level 4 Krug camp. If he's really slow, level 5, that's how you know. You almost get a little bit of a benefit here. It's not much, but because he was slow, the Raptor camp respawns at level 5. This is really interesting. I noticed this in a bit of coaching this week. And normally they would both be level 4 if you're quick enough. Like for Zyra, they're both level 4. Obviously, it's much of a muchness. It's nice to have that little boost, but it's not a big deal. Because obviously, if you're fast at clearing, you get fast to everything else. So it kind of pays itself forward pretty quickly. But if you're going to do this, this will be level 5 from him, okay? Kindred now goes down to the Wolves, finally. There we go. Look at the experience. Look at the experience boost. There we go. Halfway to level 4 when they started. Look at the bottom left. I know it's really small, but you can kind of see the pink line. Well, there you go. Just watch it go up as they finish the Wolf camp. That's a level 4 Wolf camp, by the way. There we go. I mean, that's a huge chunk of experience. Now, imagine if all your camps are doing that. Obviously, Kindred, that's not going to be available. I don't think the Pantheon was necessarily tracking the mark timers, but hey, it is what it is. Vladimir still has not based whatsoever, and that is a laner problem. Nice little kill there. Get a freebie. Pantheon loops back around here. About a third of the way to level 6. Kindred goes down at level 4. He says, let me do the grubs very quickly, which of course he's trying to do. Shen forces interrupt over here. I respect the leaving of the Krugs here to go onto the grubs, rather, to go onto the Aatrox. Obviously, you want to make sure you hit that final Q if you need to, but we don't need to. Perfect. Now, obviously, the Aatrox has nothing. The Shen's back on the map here, 575. Wave's in a decent spot. So he's just going to go back down and do this. Now, this is where you kind of have to make the decision. Do I want to continually deny the Kindred anything, or do I just want to play for myself on the map? Obviously, when you don't carry on the denial, that'll be level 5. Look at that experience. Like, look at this. Look at this. We are just under level 5. This is a level 6 Grump. Watch the experience bar of the Kindred. They don't only get level 5 on this one. Watch the slingshot here. Boom. That's a huge chunk of experience. We're what, a quarter of the way to level 6? Just under a fifth of the way? Massive. So when you're a ganking jungler, don't worry. As long as you control your camps so that they're respawning at the highest levels they can do, go and invest your time ganking, go and invest your time on what you need to, and you will definitely see the benefits from this, okay? And obviously the Kindred's going to go for this one here. And now you're thinking, well, if that's the case, virkayu, should we not gank more? I mean, you probably should gank more than AFK farming because AFK farming isn't a good strategy. Now, farming jungling and AFK farming are not the same thing. AFK farming is a bad habit. It's a tendency. It's a, you know, you are not playing. This is a level 1 Krug camp, for example. Now look at the Kindred here. Let's just look at this. Level 1 Krug camp. There you go. A little bit of that, and that should be level 6 as well. Just, okay? But not maximize experience whatsoever. Pantheon goes to the top lane, by the way. Here, the Shen's out of position. And that's where, you know, you make these ganks top lane. I kind of like to shove it out anyway, but I know and I understand in low elo, people are going to troll you a little bit. So, as I was saying, when you're farming jungler, you still want to gank a decent amount. You just want to gank really high probability scenarios, which means I would prefer this Pantheon go and ult bottom lane. Let the Shen die for his hubris, path down, cut in, ult bottom lane, or do the wolves, wait for Soraka to show back into the lane. Once you finish the wolves, go down here, give a big old-fashioned man drop of thighs onto the bottom lane, grab yourself a double kill, then look to do the dragon. Now you've got objective control as well. Whereas the Kindred is really just running around a bit randomly, looking for things. And honestly here, the Shen ult, the Vladimir dive, these are not things you want to see, but you can't control them. So you let them happen, and that's why it's very important for the Pantheon to focus on his own experience gain as he is doing right now. Now imagine if he had his ult and we could go ahead and do something here. Say, I like that. That would have been nice. Shen, can we stop playing with the food a little bit? Because eventually you're going to realize that you didn't actually kill the food and the food's going to bite you back. Pantheon has to show up with no flash. Janna Caitlyn. The 99% has this all, I was going to say 99% has it warded, but they don't. Guess you don't know. You never know, but I would always assume. At that point, I think you could assume. If you didn't notice with this shove that nothing was warded, I mean, if you noticed, great, good on you, well done. But otherwise, I would just assume, hey, it's warded, let me scan, let me find a better angle of approach, let me use my ult in anticipation because I want to guarantee this 3v2 fight in the bottom lane. Off we go. So now Kindred's getting into a little bit of this experience, right? These camps are respawning at a high level. And then basically you look at the Pantheon here, just hit level 7. Kindred's going to go and get an experienced lead on this guy. Watch this. Bottom left again. There we go. See where the pink bar is? I know it's small. Pantheon is behind, despite the fact, oh wait, they have the same CS. So the Kindred, once they stopped running around randomly, just started focusing on cleaning up camps around their random player things, benefited. Now that's where farming is important, right? So if you want to be a farming jungler in this meta, gank before you're full clear, gank after you're full clear, only cut in if it's 100% a good play for you to make. Otherwise, have that good sequencing, gank before, gank afterwards, and play around your ultimate. Just a three-prong approach. You'll notice that you get a 20 CS lead over people very quickly because when the Kindred does these random plays, you're counter jungling this because you're timing things correctly. So even in silver, I would recommend thinking about the game in this way. If you want to gank, great, but do it in a way that the Pantheon did it. It worked out better. The Pantheon's mistake was investing a lot of time in the objective, ulting top lane instead of carrying on going down. And if he did that, he'd still be in the lead. So he lost and threw his lead away a little bit. And the Kindred simply caught up just a tad by making the right plays around their camps once. And again, I don't think it was necessarily the right plays. It was more like, let me randomly show up and do stuff. And now you're thinking, well, if the Pantheon did such a good job, why is the Kindred getting fed from this? And it's because the Pantheon isn't doing the maximum that he can do. He's not maximizing his experience. He didn't ult properly in the right way. He invested time here, which was fine. He didn't time counter jungling, which is something you can do here. When someone is going to gank a lot in silver, make sure you're timing their camps so you can actually go ahead and counter jungle them in this meta. It's huge if you can do that, right? That's exactly the kind of stuff you want to do. Now I'm foreseeing potentially a random coin flip 50-50. And here comes the Pantheon. I've managed to fix the sound issue, fortunately, and just in time for this fight. This is not a fight you necessarily want to take. This is not a fight you want to take at all. If we're talking about maximizing experience, farming, ganking junglers, right? All right, I'm a farming jungler in this particular moment. I see that this dragon is going to be taken away. What do? Sequence. If you've got camps up here, just take the wolf camp, go up here, gank this, and take the grubs. If you can go straight for the grubs, go straight for the grubs, depending on the timing. Look to maximize your camp timers. Don't coin flip a fight you're not going to win. If you're a ganking jungler, you look at this and you're thinking, well, now I need to fight, right? Because I don't scale. This is a fight. No. Maximize your experience. Take the camps you can get, make sure you impact the lane somewhere else, and then take the objective. If the enemy jungler, in the Kindred in this case, shows bottom lane again, go counter jungling as well. That's really all it is. It's good jungle decision making, right? And obviously farming your camps and sequencing your camps is paramount to certain jungles' methodology. You're not going to gank level 3. You're not going to compromise your farming tempo. You're sequencing all your camps. That's true. That's 100% true. That's what we look at. But hopefully you're understanding what I'm meaning when I say maximizing experience. And that coin flip fight there is absolutely what loses you games in this elo. The Kindred now is at 4.5k gold. The Pantheon's at 4.1k gold. He's going to ult the mid lane here. Not ult the mid lane, sorry, but like walk to the mid lane. Why? We stopped farming. We stopped doing camps. We stopped picking up things that can actually give us experience. We don't know where the Kindred is anymore. And we fall back to our Raptors and we're like, well, maybe we can go for this now. The Kindred's like, well, now, you know, I've done some good shit. I better go to my Krugs and my Raptors. Look at this. Now you sequence. And even ganking junglers can straight up sequence here. This is huge. This is a huge loop of pathing from the Kindred. This guy invested his time in the mid lane. Now goes to the grubs. Kindred now does a full sequence, has almost level 9. Pantheon ditches again, gets 5 grubs though. Goes to the top lane, I don't think really. Kindred wants to go into the Shen, trying to use that Hearthbound Axe spike. Pantheon's going to show up here as well. You know, you're looking at a almost level 9 Kindred. W will do the sucky. There we go, there's a Shen ult. And that's a death. That's a taunt. That's an ult. Remember to space your E if you're a Kindred main in this one. Space your Q. There you go. Flash over the wall, and Aatrox should be able to finish it. And what we should be able to do, come on, there we go, is get this as well. This is now a level 7 Krug camp. And all the Kindred's camps are going to spawn up at like the level 10 marker. And even though camps up scaling at level 8 now, still max experience, right? So you want to get your camps to the max experience as soon as possible. So in the mid game, your farming clears when there's nothing happening and no objectives to fight over are really juiced. That's essentially kind of what we've been building towards. So whether you're a ganker who's maximizing quadrants and experience, or you're a farmer who's doing more full sequences back and forward, you're still always looking to ensure that the highest tier camps on the map are going to you, and you're denying other high tier camps to the enemy jungler through strategic counter jungling and tracking. And that's just not happening right now for a lot of low elo, face it, most junglers and most MMRs. But that's why this video exists, to just bring awareness to this. Now, obviously, I have more specific ways to play ganking and farming junglers because there are differences. You know, I've tried to kind of try to give you a generalistic approach here to jungling, just to understand the concepts of what it means to be a jungler and the things you kind of need to look for. But it is that way sometimes, where you have a big lead, the Kindred makes mistakes and does waffle passing, and what happens is you throw it away with low probability plays, and that ends up costing you absolutely greatly. Now we do get the turret here, we're all low HP. The Kindred is, what, at 6.1k gold at 50 minutes, we're at 5.4k gold. Kindred's gonna obviously be caught out here. Don't take a fight unless you know you can pentakill the squad, you know, like if you're Kaiser Jungle Season 8 that I used to do, and that's just one Q and everybody dies and you heal up because Hextech, Gunblade, and Death Stones, you healed up on all 12 of your Q missiles. That was understandably nerfed. That was a little broken. But in that situation there, I get a quadra kill, so, you know, kind of miss it sometimes. There's another death. There's another death. And again, should these things happen? No. But, you know, there's no reason as a Malphite to ult on Vladimir, I can tell you that much. In the meantime, Aatrox is shoving this in. Pantheon's forced to hold. Both junglers are level 9 at 16, and that's a problem because you can easily be level 11 at this particular stage if you're playing a farming jungler. There's a dragon available that we can do as well. The sucker's at level 10. Remember, a lot of catch-up experience in these epic monsters that you want to snack if you are behind, always huge. But you don't really need to catch up anything, and you should have free 2-level leads for down a level if you just control your camps. Both of them have the same CS. You know, it's not good CS. And that's also the point. Sequence better if you are a sequencing jungler. If you don't have good ganks, if you have things on the map that don't make sense, don't waste opportunities going for them. Just sequence your camps, control your camps, make sure that you can't be counter jungle the enemy. It's okay to have low kill participation if you have a huge experience and gold advantage. Just play the map intelligently. Don't get locked into one style extreme or the other. Balanced jungling will always win. Meantime, Pantheon is now completely thrown. And, you know, the Shen, I still think the big swing moment, the first swing moment, was when we didn't go in up bottom lane while Kindred was still running around doing random stuff. And then when we went and coin flipped that Draken and held mid lane. You lost so much experience doing that, that now the Kindred is actually just controlling their camps properly. Level 13 on the Aatrox. You know, the Kindred here still, like, because the Pantheon's been doing this, I'm surprised that Kindred hasn't managed to secure a higher lead. But then when you're doing things like this, I mean, just kind of saying, bottom lane, let's go, we go fighting. I mean, it's not wrong, but I would have preferred maybe we do this, shove this, maybe we could counter jungling this and take this, gank this. Like, can we do something else on the map that pushes it instead of, like, what are you going to push here? You know, because the way's been cut off by the Shen, you're not taking any objective. So in the mid game, early to mid game transition, once you get to that stage, you know, Aatrox dies, no TP. I'm all for fighting, you know, for something. But this is not what we should be fighting for. And again, the Pantheon just ults in here onto a Janna, into a Kindred, with a Caitlyn trap. I mean, there's no reason to do this whatsoever. But the Kindred's team is being spoon-fed mistakes and bad positioning. Essentially, what the red team could have done is just shove this all the way in, maybe gank this and shove this all the way in, taking this and taking this for bounty. You know, like they have 5 grubs, so they got a lot of potential there. If Kindred and Janna and Caitlyn want to run around here, be my guest, because there's nothing that you're really getting at all objectively. Objectively, right? So make sure when you have these leads and people do dumb things, maximize your experience further, path in a way that allows you to be present, to push turrets and make the right macro plays. And the Pantheon just did not do that. So as we go through all of the ranks, we'll take a long look at this kind of style jungling. You know, because you see it's way too much. The ganking is off. The farming is off. Just the general decision making is off. The greed is there. There's no real vision. And, you know, as we're covering this new meta, you're going to see a lot of videos showcasing what not to do. That's because very few people are doing what they're meant to. If they were, and if they are, they're climbing pretty easily. So, main channel will have you covered in that regard. But this is one of the rare silver games, I think. This is one of the rare silver games where there's not much to talk about here because they just keep running it down. Blue team just go for the Baron. There you go. Like, you can't kill the Malphite. Channel comes through. Malphite's still alive and they're just doing the Baron. Also, way to reposition. You know, this is just one of those games, I think, where they straight up FF. Let's have a look here. Mega team fighting. Aatrox TP in. And nice double Q knock up there. Again from the Aatrox, just absolutely eviscerating the entire team. Shouldn't have happened, really. But scrappy silver stuff. Look, honestly, nice job on the Kindred for recovering that early game messiness. And bad job by the Pantheon for really just throwing it away as well. Goes both ways in Low Elo. You know, you have to take what you're owed and control your own game in reality. And at the same time, the person against you most likely will give a lot of mistakes that you can punish. And sometimes that's all you need to do to climb. But again, let's carry on going through the ranks, you know, as we go through this new meta, and you'll see the improvements of experience maximization and how farming junglers also play to really just carry games when they understand map control and pressure. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. Sorry for the no sound at the beginning.